decided to be here with me today. Welcome back to my channel. I am your girl Kenyatta here, and today we are going to be talking all about preventing our locks from breaking off. Okay, now this is something very common in the lock community, and most people experience breakage when they reach a mature stage in their locks. Okay, so that means from the time that you start your locks to the time that they reach the mature stage, there are things that can be done to prevent your locks from breaking off. Today, I'm going to be giving you 7 tips on how to prevent your locks from breaking off. Number 1, we must get this one out of the way. You've heard it once, you've heard it before. Retwisting too tight, okay? This is like the number 1 reason that locks break off. Twisting your hair too tight will eventually cause damage and lock breakage down the road. So remember, when you are retwisting your hair, do not retwist your hair to the point where you can feel the tightness, okay? If you can feel the tightness at your root when you're retwisting, you're retwisting too tight. Retwisting is not to tighten your locks up. It's simply a maintenance process. You don't have to make it tight. You just have to retwist to the root and put a clip on it. That's about it. Like I said, if you feel tightness, you're retwisting. Number 2, plaiting your locks too tight. Now, y'all know we like our braid outs. Our fellas out there like their cornrows, and some of our ladies like our cornrows as well, okay? But plaiting your hair too tight will cause thinning locks and eventually cause breaking locks. It will cause your locks to break off because it's a strain on your locks when you're plaiting your hair and you're literally pulling it tighter so that it can be really tight and squeezed together. This causes breakage. So be careful when you're doing your braid outs not to plait your locks really tight, okay? It doesn't have to be tight so that it's not pulling or it doesn't feel like they're literally trying to squeeze the life out of each other, okay? So remember that. And also when you're corn rolling, do not pull your hair tight because pulling equals lock damage, strain on your roots. So be careful when you are doing cornrows not to pull your hair tight. I do have a video on how to do the perfect cornrows on locks. I'll link it right here on the screen. Feel free to check that out. And this leads me into number 3, okay? Putting little black rubber bands at the ends of your locks too tight, okay? When you're doing your braid outs and your cornrows and you put your rubber bands at the end of your hair, you know how when you do a style and you have plaits, a braid out or cornrows or even 2-strand twists, and you put the rubber band at the end of your lock, and what you'll notice is the area where the little rubber band was at the end of your lock, you notice it looks a little squeezed together or it looks a little thin. The rubber band kind of leaves an indentation in your lock, and you can clearly see this is where the rubber band was. Okay, now that indentation that little black rubber band leaves in your locks is actually a sign of thinning locks, okay? And continuing to put little black rubber bands at the end of your lock will lead to thinning locks and also eventually your locks breaking off. So be very cautious when you're using little black rubber bands not to put them on to the point that they're squeezing your locks. They're only meant to hold, not Number 4, tying your hair back using your locks. Now we've all seen it before when you take your locks, you know, you take your locks and you hit it with the, you know, tying your hair back. Believe it or not, this is not something that is going to cause breakage right away. However, I had to put that in here because it does cause breakage down the line, okay? The same way that putting rubber bands at the end of your locks too tight and plaiting your hair too tight leads to breakage, tying your hair like that all the time it being a habit will lead to thinning locks and breaking locks, because at the end of the day, you're pulling and you're squeezing your locks. So this will cause breakage down the line. So be careful when you are doing that, okay? There are many ways you can tie your hair back without damaging your locks. Number 5, using elastics for ponytails, okay? The same way that little black rubber bands leave indentions at the ends of your locks when you leave them on too long is the same way elastics, such as these, will leave an indentation in your locks when you put them into a ponytail. Because when you are putting your hair in a ponytail, what are you doing? You're taking an elastic, you're wrapping it twice. You're wrapping it 4 times or 3 times. However many times you wrap it, you're wrapping this around your locks, and what is it doing? It's squeezing your locks. It's literally squeezing your locks to hold it into place so that you can have a ponytail. And you'll leave your hair like this for a day or 2 or however long. Maybe you have a style that requires you to have a ponytail, and the entire time this elastic is squeezing your hair. So of course it's squeezing your locks together, and this will leave an indentation. Maybe not in all of your locks, but definitely the locks that are in the perimeter on the outer part of that elastic. It's squeezing your locks together, and it will create an indentation in your locks, and which leads to thinning, okay? And this thinning leads to breakage, okay? So be very careful not to use elastics when doing your ponytails. Now, don't worry, because I do have an alternative that I would love to share with you guys if you're doing ponytails. This is what I use, okay? And I love to use pipe cleaners. This is a pipe cleaner. If you watch my videos, you know that I'm always using pipe cleaners to do ponytails. And the reason I like to use, and this is a black pipe cleaner here. If you have red hair or blonde hair, you can use whatever color you like, but this is a black pipe cleaner here. And I love to use these for my ponytails because these do not squeeze my locks. They simply hold my locks. There's no stretch to this. There's no stretch, but you can definitely manipulate this in any way that you want. And this is why I love pipe cleaners for ponytail holders, because I wrap it around my hair, okay? And it's not squeezing, it's holding my ponytail, yes, but it's not squeezing. There's no elasticity, if I'm saying that right. So when I wrap it around my ponytail, okay, and I twist it, okay, it's like held. It holds. It does not come loose. This is why I love to use pipe cleaners when I'm doing ponytails. Number 6 is styling your hair consistently. Now, y'all, listen. Y'all know, if y'all watch my channel, all I do is lock styles, okay? Now, I love my hair to be styled to the gods, and I be trying to put y'all onto all of them styles as well. So listen, I think that it's okay to style your locks. It's cool, but sometimes it's okay to give your locks a break, okay? Right now, my locks aren't styled, okay? I'm just letting them be free, just hanging down, because you want to give your hair a break sometimes. If you do a style, okay, and you turn right around, wash your hair, and then you do another style directly after that, and then you do it again, wash your hair, and then style it again. It's like, when are you giving your hair a break? Just let it be free, be what they are, wash your hair, do a retwist, and just let it hang. Because styling too much can lead to thinning locks, and you already know what's at the end of that tunnel, breaking locks. And the only reason that I'm telling you this, because I want you to understand that when you're putting styles in your hair, okay, whether it be a pinup, or whatever kind of style that you're using, and maybe your style requires a ponytail, that elastic on your ponytail squeezing your locks. That pinup with those hairpins poking your locks, okay? And also, sometimes people have ponytails or some type of style and it's up, and that pulling is also damaging your hair. So be very careful with styling all the times. And I definitely say, ponytails shouldn't be too tight, and pulling, if you feel pulling around your edges, that's too tight. You understand what I'm saying? The elastics, I've already went over that. So I just wanted to throw this in there because styling consistently on a regular basis can also lead to breaking locks. You definitely want to give your hair a breather sometimes. You can go a month without styling your hair. You can go a couple of weeks without styling your hair. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But we all want to be fly, okay? Because I know that I do. Number 7, avoid small starter locks. Now I know there are people out here who already got their hair locked and they got them little baby skinny locks. I had to put this in there because I gotta keep it 100 with y'all. I gotta keep it 1,000. I got to keep it a stack with y'all, okay? Small locks, you are at a higher risk of experiencing breakage, okay? So if you have small locks, skinny locks, you definitely want to be very careful when it comes to styling. You should take all these tips that I said before and just really be careful with your locks, because a lot of styling will lead to your locks breaking off. Ponytails too tight will lead to your locks breaking off. Rubber bands at the end of your hair. Everything that I mentioned in this video, you're just at that higher percentile of your locks breaking off because they're already thin. You understand what I'm saying? Someone who has thicker locks, they can damage their hair to the point where their locks are thin. With smaller locks, your locks are kind of already thin. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to be very careful. And I just had to throw that in there because my people out there in Loc Nation with smaller locks, y'all got to be careful because y'all want your hair to grow long and strong as well, okay? And because your hair is already thin, and I can't say this enough, unfortunately, you are at the higher risk of experiencing breakage. So just take these tips that I gave you in this video and just really apply them on a daily basis. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am your girl Kenyatta here. I hope that you got some great information from this video, and I hope that the information that I gave you, these tips will help you in your everyday lock journey, all right? And helping you from keeping your hair long and growing them strong, okay? Because nobody want their hair to break off. Ain't nobody got time for that. Comment down below and share any tips that you may have for people who want to prevent their locks from breaking off, because I may not have covered everything. These are just the things that I've experienced with my lock journey. I've been locked for 15 years, so I know a thing or two. Okay, don't forget to share this video wherever you share cool stuff: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you never miss a video from your girl. Y'all know I ride with y'all a long way, right? You better know it. It's your girl Kenyatta here. Peace.